Yo, what's good, y'all? My fellow sages, and this video is going to be going over the classes for Lost Ark. Lost Ark is an upcoming MMORPG, which means top-down view, from developer Smilegate RPG and published by yours truly, Amazon. It has been fully released in Korea since 2018, with the follow-up release in Russia and Japan. The Western release is a highly anticipated launch set for February 11th with a pre-order access, early access bonus on February 8th. This requires you purchase a founder's pack at bronze, silver, gold, or platinum tiers, running from $14.99 to $99.99. This video details all of the available classes from the November closed beta. Only changes is they have added Sorceress class and removed the Summoner class. And I still have a Summoner class video as part of this, so you can check it out. Again, in the descriptions, you will see timestamps for any job you specifically want to see or check out. So make sure you look at that if you want to see something specific. And remember to follow me on YouTube, Twitch, as I'll be streaming this game exclusively on Early Access Day, February 8th. Remember, I do stream at night, so around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Look out for me. Can't wait to see you fellow sages there. And now let's go ahead and get into the classes. All right, y'all. So the first class we're going to be jumping into is the Paladin class. So this is the first set of classes in Lost Ark. You're going to be seeing some sword slashes here. Some of these are direct attacks, and I believe the Paladin is one of those basic tank classes that you're going to be wanting to jump into if you like that hack and slash sword and shield gameplay. Now, the Paladin, to me, was the sweetest one out of all of the tanks that I looked at. To be honest, the reasoning is, had a lot of electricity. I love the visuals of those holies. As you can see, some of the cooldowns on the bottom left. I'm not going to reveal too much about these classes. You're not going to see a lot of names, etc. But I am going to show you gameplay. I'm going to show you some of their abilities, what they can do. As you can see, this gives them a little bit of a shield here. And also, you can see that middle section is how you are going to gain mana for your abilities and your ultimates. So this is showing you a little bit of the class of Paladin. I hope you guys enjoy, and let me know down below if the Paladin is what you're gonna choose. I'll let the rest of the clip roll. All right, y'all. So we are jumping into the next tank class, 2 of 3, I believe. And this is going to be the Gunlancer. So Gunlancer was a little bit, to be honest with you guys, looks like Gunlancer has some combo skills. Combo skills is where you have to hit the button in succession multiple times in order to, perform that specific skill. So I will be kind of letting you guys know if a class has more of those combo skills and has more of a learning curve to it. So this one seemed a little bit more technical than the Paladin class. As you can see, there's icons, and just to let you guys know, I am playing on a controller. When you see a lot of this gameplay, it is controller gameplay. So a lot of the icons, a lot of the things you're seeing me doing are all being utilized with the controller. It was pretty fluid. I didn't really have a big issue. If you guys want a controller guide, let me know. I will definitely pop one off for y'all. But as you can see, not too issues, aiming down. We'll see how it is in late game combat. But I really did like the Gunlancer. The Gunlancer gives you that Monster Hunter feel. I don't know if you guys remember the Gunlance in Monster Hunter, but it really is kind of like that class. You have a grab ability, as you see there. That lightning shot AoE was super awesome. And I'm going to try to explain the ultimates for you guys. Shield meter, you build up shield meter as you defeat enemies. You're able to utilize your shield meter either in a huge AoE kind of Pantheon alt style if you know League of Legends, or you can use it for the B instead, where you basically put a shield up for yourself to protect yourself against enemies. So it gives you that option to use it aggressively if you want to destroy a bunch of people, or it gives you the option to use it defensively if you're maybe in a raid and you want to do, as you can see here, do it defensively. As you'll see, I'm about to jump. Boom. Big downpouring, shield circles, keep buffering, boom, boom. So that is that part of the alt. Battlefield shield, as you see with the B button, kind of puts that huge battlefield shield down. So you can use your alt in 2 separate ways with the Gunlance, and again, has some of those dodge abilities. Look at this. The stomp is super sweet, feels very satisfying, and overall, I really love the class. It really felt good in my hands. Again, I like Paladin a little bit more, just like the effects a little bit more. But if you are feeling the Gunlance, let me know. I'm gonna let this the rest of the gameplay show for itself. See you guys on the next class. So we are jumping into the Berserker class. So I do apologize. It's not the tank classes. It is called Warrior in Lost Ark. So these are all Warrior classes. This Berserker class, this one was probably the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Aggressive out of all 3 of the Warrior classes in Lost Ark. This one is going to be for those guys who want to get up and close and personal, spin the win, Garen style, and also do a lot, looks like a lot of damage per second, DPS. So this one's going to be your class. This is going to give you that great sword, a huge just blade, being able to wield it at high velocities, a lot of combo skills, a lot of additions, a lot of hold skills too. I did get a couple of hold skills in here where you have to hold the button down in order to complete the action, i.e. the spin. So once you get into that, it's going to be something that you really are going to love and enjoy, especially if you love that close combat kind of feel with heavy weaponry, like I said before. Now, the ultimate is super simple. This is going to be this class is pretty straightforward. You are going to defeat enemies and build up your ultimate gauge, your fury meter. And once you build up your fury meter, you can go into, again, your fury mode per se and do a fury burst meter attack. So that is basically the identity of this particular class. I don't know if this warrior class is specifically going to be good at damage, if it's going to have a lot of healing associated with it. As you can see, there goes one of those huge downward ball. Now we have the burst mode availability. Use the burst mode. And it, again, boost your power for a short time. Again, boom, and then you get that exhilarating feel and you start just going hamster wheels. Now, again, this class definitely feels like the one for people who want to have the huge sword and whack stuff, destroy stuff. Don't know how big of a tank class it will be. Again, it may have, a lot of healing associated with it. Don't know yet, but it was a lot of fun. And as you can see, it's going to be doing a lot of damage and it's going to look very sweet doing it. So if you guys like that Berserker class, let me know down below. Let's go ahead and jump into the next set of classes coming up. All right, y'all. So let's jump into the mages. First, we're going to start off with the class that was not involved in the that isn't releasing. It looks like in the States, and that's the summoner class. I'm going to show you guys what it's looking like, and then we're going to switch into what has replaced the summoner class, which is the sorcerer class. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I am excited that they did this. I'm gonna be going mage, and the fact that there wasn't a true mage class in the game when I was doing the closed beta was kind of upsetting. But as you can see, some of the class was very strange. It wasn't your normal fire, lightning, and ice elemental class. It kind of had some different things. As you can see, you can summon ghouls from the ground. As you can see, I had a little magma friend here that would fight for me. It had like little, as you see, plants. It had like Pegasus kind of horse that you could shoot up. Even had this bird wind. Now, I will say that this one had the most. This one was very the skill level and technical for this one, especially on the controller, was very high. A lot of these abilities had a lot of holds, had a lot of different things that you needed to do, a lot of meters, a lot of conal, as you can see, conals. So this one is definitely, to me, was going to be very hard to perform on a controller. I don't know if that's the reasoning behind them switching it out for the sorcerer class, because the sorcerer class still seems like it's going to be kind of in that same wheelhouse. But as you can see, you had and then you can use ancient elementals. So I'm going to go ahead and show y'all right now. I think I call in the Phoenix on this one. I'm pretty sure I call in the Phoenix, but it brings up ancient elementals to use at your disposal. And again, I like the class. The class in theory was pretty awesome. And I would have been okay with them, as you can see right there, boom, kind of that Phoenix coming from the sky. I would have been okay with them adding the class, but keep adding the sorcerer as well. I don't know why they had to take the summoner out, but again, this is definitely Western style audiences like us here in the United States. We're gonna want that mage, that Gandalf, you know, that lightning, that fire, and that ice. So that's why, and look at that stomp was one of the abilities you can bring in. And so, you know, I'm going to go ahead and let the gameplay ride. I'm going to let you guys see how this particular class worked. And just in case they bring it back at a later time, or they bring it back in the future, you can, if you want to switch to it, you know exactly what it brings. That ability, by the way, felt really satisfying. The one with the bird. It definitely felt satisfying. And as you can see, there was 2 elementals that were kind of locked away. So right after this one, we're going to finish this off, and then we're going to check in with the sorcerer class. And I wasn't able to play with that one, so we're going to go through what's on the website and check it out. All right, y'all. So we're going to be jumping into looking at the Sorceress class. So let's go ahead and check it out. Sorceress class. We're going to shoot. Whoa. So that's showing a little bit of a questionable circle on the bottom, but it's going to do bring meteors from the sky. Looks pretty sweet, if you say so myself. And those meteors are raining down multiple times. Seems pretty OP, if you ask me. Another beautiful magical sign, and more meteors coming down as well. Looks like the same ability here. And so it's just showing us that ability. So let's go ahead and check out maybe they have another ability. Okay, yeah, here we go. And this is called Incinerate. And then the next ability is going to be the ice ability. Let's check it out. Or water. Okay. Is that ice or water? No, that says Frost Explosion. So it is a frost attack. And it looks like you may be able to teleport at the end of that. or maybe that's just maybe a blink. Maybe they're blink. So yeah, boom, frost explosion, and then boom. They do have, it looks officially no, they have a blink, so that looks pretty good. That's their wave attack right there. Pretty good for AoE, it looks like. Let's go to the next one, ice arrows. So it looks like we've gotten a little bit of multiple ice attacks. This is going to be a straight line damage. Boom, freezes them. Now these particular enemies die, but I would imagine stronger enemies will probably be frozen, maybe slowed down in place for you to shoot them up with something different or another ability. But this seems pretty outlandish. Yeah, this seems pretty good. Now that's going to be that conal. I don't know how that's going to work on a controller. I will definitely have something for you guys to help with that. And here, this is what we're talking. This is what I care about. Lightning burst. Ooh, nice little lightning rod attack, straight shot right through enemies. You can kind of see it's probably a hold attack where you can kind of siphon it through enemies, go left to right on the control pad, boom, 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 boom. And that seems like it's going to be one of those satisfying attacks too. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. And then let's go ahead and check out the next one, Doomsday attack. Let's see what this one's about. Oh man, we getting pummeled while we're boom. Okay, so this one definitely has a cast time on it, but once you bring it down, boom, huge DPS down on a area. So as you can tell already, this is going to be a lot of AoE damage, a lot of AoE that the Sorceress is going to bring to the table in the Mage classes, and I'm looking forward to utilizing her on my playthrough. Also letting you know some of these are gender lock. As you can see, Sorceress is specifically gender lock, so you will not be able to be a male mage. You will have to rock with the females if you want to be doing magic. All right, let's go ahead and check the next mage class coming up. And we're going to be playing some music. All right, so the next mage class is going to be the Bard, and I lost my footage. I know I played the Bard when it was in the closed beta just to test it out, but I lost my footage, so we're just going to run what's on the website. And so as you can see here, the Bard is going to be one of those classes, okay? One of those classes that seems to have some AoE effects, as you see with this one. It's going to play the chords, and you see that doom, doom, doom. And again, Bard is one of the Bard is actually one of the big classes. I think the most one of the most popular classes from the kind of the eastern area where it came from. Now, for my remembrance of when I was in game with the Bard, it is going to be a little bit on a supportive style. So you are a Bard, as you can see, playing those musical chords and doing AoE damage in an area conal effect. A lot of AoE attacks, but from my memory, it did have some supportive items and things to it as well. So keep that in mind. The Bard playing music, buffing your teammates. I think that's going to be a factor. Let's see if we see anything like that in any of these videos. As we see with this one, shooting, okay, kind of like a conal front end, close range, purple blast, boom. Nothing really crazy there. Let's see the next one, heavy tune. And maybe I'm getting Final Fantasy mixed up, right? But I feel like some of these attacks, they do, you know, they're pushing enemies back. But I feel like some of these attacks had secondary effects if you had teammates within it. So that's what I'm thinking. But again, it doesn't really give you any word. See, inflict damage on nearby foes and boost attack speed and MP regeneration speed for yourself and nearby party members. So there you go. And then that basically, yeah, there you go. The heavily tuned. Those are the things that I saw in Prelude of Storm. Now this looked pretty sweet from what I remember. Boom. Look at that. Look at those. And then it kind of pulses on the ground where it's at. Yeah. And oh, that electricity sound. Sounds so satisfying. And if you examine here, play a powerful tune to call forth a storm that afflicts damage and stuns foes. So again, amazing from the Bard. Again, you're going to be just like heavenly tuned shows. You're going to be able to buff teammates within that circle. So that's going to be one. And I think there's multiple abilities like that the Bard wields. So if you're looking into doing damage, doing a lot of status effects, being that CC guy for your team, and you want to buff them, and you want to do damage and look sweet doing it while playing a harpy, go ahead and check that Bard class out. Now we're going to move on from the Mage classes and go into the Assassin classes coming up next. Boom. All right, y'all. So we're going to jump into the next class, which is the Deathblade. Now, Deathblade is going to be your one of the assassin classes, and Deathblade showing your ultimate on this left-hand side. Attacking creates death orbs. Press Z to activate Death Trance and use very powerful skills. So the assassin classes you'll see in the next two. Very interesting. So again, I was kind of messing around with them a lot. You're gonna see me kind of running through this. This is going to be one of my longer gameplay vids because it took some getting used to how to use the blade dance and use them effectively. Now, Deathblade felt pretty sweet. It looks pretty cool. Has those two kind of short-handed blades that you can go ahead and cut through if you love those two blade style kind of combat for your characters and MMOs. You're gonna love this one. As you can see here, we got the two wind blade swings back to back, and there was a lot of combos in the assassin classes both. So a lot of pushing, and there he goes. There's a charge skill. Ooh. And so visually very pleasing, very lucrative as far as what you can do. The movement. So I think the movement on Deathblade specifically is very fluid, very nice, and you really get that sense of speed with this particular class. Once I start adding some enemies here, you're going to see me kind of build up that gauge as they so have it. And then once we get the gauge all filled up, we're going to go ahead and be able to use some of our stronger skills. Now, once we use our stronger skills, it uses one of the orb circles based on the strength of that skill. So as you can probably understand, you get 3 of them. Don't know if you'll get more as time goes on, but you can use a skill that may use 1 orb. There's going to be skills that may use 2, and there you go, creating, and then here it is, and then you start just basically you just start going crazy. It's beautiful. Look at that. There goes that 3 circle. I obviously missed, but it was beautiful. And I start using some of these wind shurikens. There you go. And I start getting a hang of it as time goes on. But if you love the quick combat and, again, fluidity of assassin classes and MMOs, RPGs, anything like that, you're going to love the Ninja Gaiden of this game. And let's go ahead and finish this clip, show you some more gameplay, and then we'll jump into some of the next assassin class. All right, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the next assassin class. And this one was my favorite one. This is called the ShadowHunter. And this one was actually the one of my favorite classes to play with in general. If I wasn't going, there's 3 classes. There's a mage class, there is a martial artist class, and then there's of course this class, a ShadowHunter, that were my 3 favorites, jumping on and just playing around with them and their kits. This one is the assassin ShadowHunter, and as you can see, it's a little bit more of a different type of assassin. It's more of a powerful blades, carnage style kit. You see that grab, that gruesome grab that it does is just amazing. It does feel very satisfying. And it's just a very visceral is the word I would use, class. It feels like it's going to be very heavily DPS, maybe also get busted up very quickly as well. But it just felt very solid. It doesn't seem as mobile and quick as the previous Deathblade class, but as you can see, you have a demon mode. So this demon mode, I actually cut it off pretty quick there by accident, but you are able to, once you level up and get enough, you're able to go into your shadow burst meter and transform into a demon. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it feels amazing. Once you transform, you'll see that here in a second. You're going to be able to do a whole new amount of kits. You'll look at my abilities on the bottom left. You'll see them kind of change once we get into that form. And it's just, I mean, it feels great. And you feel powerful. You feel strong for that burst of time. And you do feel the change as far as the damage is concerned. Now, as far as this being an assassin class, very, very interesting wording, but it does have that style. You see, you have the swords and kind of the sickles you can throw out on distance. It's not all short range. And here we go, boom, and boom. And that I mean, I tell you what, when I saw that, I was like, whoa. Okay, so yeah, this is a great, as you can see here, just the, and here goes the, I don't know if you guys ever play Marvel vs. Capcom, but it has the Wolverine level 3 combo attack there where you just start clawing them to death. And yeah, this class was super amazing. I feel like this is going to be one of the favorite ones here over in the west side. And if you guys love it, let me know in the comments if you're going to go ShadowHunter. But I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of people transforming into demons come February 8th and 11th. But I'll let this gameplay follow out, and get to the next, I think we're going to jump into either the martial arts classes or those gunners. All right, y'all. So we in the next one with this Sharpshooter. So Sharpshooter class. Now this one was fun too. I did like this one. This was in my secondary favorite classes I saw. This is going to be your bow and arrow class. So this is going to be part of the gunners. The gunner classes are, they're your long range DPS type classes. And to be honest, this one felt good. This is your standard archer class. Everything you see here is going to be standard. Those bows, it did have a lot, as you can probably understand. In most bow classes, you have a lot of holds and kind of those the rain of arrow attack, right? Every single bow and arrow class, I don't care what game you're playing, has the rain of arrows attack, and this one is no different. So as you can probably understand, there's going to be a lot of holding, and there is going to be those individual circles on the bottom that you're going to have to keep in mind when aiming these abilities. The cool thing about Sharpshooter is, I thought, the special attacking fails the hawk meter and summons the silver hawk. So there goes the patented rain of arrows attack, and that was a nice little AoE short range attack just in case if enemies get close to you. And there it goes. That's his ultimate. Now it's not super stunning visually, but I think the whole thing is pretty cool that you get kind of like your own little familiar, right? You get this little hawk right by you, and there is abilities. I wasn't really seeing that at first, but the hawk itself has abilities that you can utilize in tandem with your own. Pretty interesting. I did like the overall aesthetics and feel of the attacks. There you go. I think I finally start realizing there's the Birkin attack as well. But boom, and then there goes the big attack right there. So it was pretty cool. I like it. Some people are super into that bow and arrows type gameplay. I usually go for more of a gunner style myself, but again, this was pretty sweet, and I think you guys who like that long range bow and arrow will get a kick out of this class. I'll let this gameplay clip fill out and we'll go into the next one. All right, y'all. So we're going to be getting into the next gunner class, which is going to be DeadEye. DeadEye, as you can see, is your shotgun kind of multiple ammo cartridge system class. And this one was cool too. As you can see, this is going to be more up my alley. If I ever was going to go a gunner class, this would probably be the class that I would choose. Now, I will state right now that this class specifically was very technical. So as you can see, you can switch stances between handguns, shotguns, and rifles. So keep in mind that this is a stance switching, and each gun type that you had, the handgun, shotgun, and rifle, all had different abilities attached to them. So this was very interesting. So again, I want to just Perfect Zone. So this one was interesting too. So Perfect Zone was a new skill set that I was looking at, where you charge up something and then you have to finish the charge in the perfect spot in the perfect zone in order to get the perfect ability at max damage, max range. Very interesting. Visually, this class is stunning though. Visually very stunning, but again, very, very, very hard. There was a lot of pushes, a lot of presses, and very highly technical. So if this is a class you're interested in and you are using a controller, again, this is all controller gameplay, get ready. It's gonna really stress you as far as utilizing and switching between. You're gonna have to memorize a lot of these abilities, a lot of what each one does. But again, it was a lot of fun. As you can see, I'm having a lot of fun moving around, switching between guns, and kind of playing around with all the different abilities. But I'm gonna let this clip play out, and then we'll jump into the last gunner class coming up next. right, y'all. And here's the last gunner class, the Artillerist. And just to give you some basic info, the attack power and the range, low mobility, pretty low defense, and not really going to be supporting the team all that much either. But as you can see, this is the Artillerist class. And this one is going to be more of your long range oppressive class. So you're going to see rockets, you're going to see the machine guns kind of. Reminds me of the class in Monster Hunter as well. I can't remember the name of that class, but the one where you're just kind of back there shooting rockets and stuff at monsters. And there you go. Look at that. It's crazy. Leave stuff on the ground. This one is there goes the flamethrower skill. I thought this one was pretty funny. There goes a holding skill right there. You just hold it, let that fire pour down on your enemies' poor faces. And so this one is cool. Defeating enemies fills the firepower meter. Switch to barrage modes. You'll see what that is in a little bit. But basically, you fill up your meter. You're able to plant down your gun and just start destroying and decimating your enemies in front of you. It is a very, very user-friendly class as well. I feel like this is going to be, if you're using controller, this is going to be a very easy pickup class if you really just want to jump in and have some fun. The holding ability didn't really bother me. Again, you just fire flamethrower, boom. It has ice as well. It said it was low on support, but again, you're able to utilize those ice missiles and flamethrowers for some kind of control, CC. And boom, here it goes. And then I don't know what I was doing. Boom, bombardment, boom, there it goes. I figure it out finally. And you just it's just stupid. You just look, I finally figure out what I'm doing, and I just start going in with the focus fire. Look at this trash. It is crazy. So, and then the hyper beam laser. That's right. Dragon Knight is here with the hyper beam. And so that is pretty sweet. I think a lot of people are going to be using this class too. But that is all for the gunners. Let's go ahead and jump over to martial artists and one of my favorite classes in the whole entire closed beta. All right, so we are into the martial artists, and we got the WardDancer, high mobility class with some damage sprinkled in there, and our basic attacks. And martial artists are your standard melee classes in this particular game. WardDancer has the elemental meter esoteric skills. So this one is kind of like the assassin class, the blade dancer, where you are a blade hunter, I should say. Basically, you are building up your meters for stronger attacks. So as you'll see, we will start hitting enemies, building up our meter, and then we'll have access to additional abilities and attacks that we can utilize to damage our foes. Now, this and the male martial artists as well are very similar. So I do not have the male martial artists, but their attacks, how they move, their abilities, they're very, very similar. So just keep that in mind. If you're looking at the male martial artist, there's a male martial artist that you can utilize. And this is very similar to their attacks, their attack springs. They do have some very minor differences. And I think they've added some differences as well from the closed beta from when I tested it. And here you go, that tornado skill right there. That is something they do share, is that tornado skill. But that tornado skill is amazing. It does feel very strong, and that lightning kick from the sky is something that I really enjoyed as well. But that is pretty much it for the WardDancer and its abilities. All right, now the next one is the Scrapper, and Scrapper is another martial artist, and it's a little different than the WardDancer. As you can see, it's gonna have you with those two huge kind of gauntlets on your hands, very strong, a little bit more of a powerhouse as far as the abilities a little bit more girth or a little bit more weight to your abilities and your punches. As you see, the class identity: consume stamina or shock energy to use skills. Using one energy type increases the other. So this is a balanced class. So as you'll see, as you use one side, then you can kind of switch over and use another, and then you take that side and then you can do the other side. So there isn't really a huge big boom attack really with this one, but if you utilize both of your sides of chakra, I'm just going to call it chakra, they're using shock energy, then you're going to have perfect balance in your abilities and ability to use stronger abilities on both sides. So this one is definitely about balance. If you play Final Fantasy, think Red Mage with the black and white mana. It's the same concept. You want to balance between the two and make sure you're utilizing green abilities with yellow, and then yellow abilities into green to replenish your yellow to replenish more green, and then green to replenish more yellow. You have to be in perfect synchrony with these two. This one was the least favorite of mine. It just doesn't have that wow factor that I could see in the closed beta, but I could have been playing the class entirely wrong. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and jump into my favorite martial artist on this next one. And now for the last martial artist, the Soulfist. Now, the Soulfist, I really did like. The Soulfist was amazing, to be honest with you. Gives you that mobility, defense, some attack power there, and it definitely has all of the makings of something that is very, very strong. Now, the reason why I like it is if you look at it, it gives you just a lot of visual. Just look at that. It's crazy, right? It just looks amazing. It gives you that Saiyan anime feel, and so that is what really, a lot of these that give you that anime feel, like you're in an anime, you have the power, you feel the power of it. It's just amazing. The class identity: after accumulating energy for a certain period of time, to activate hype up to level 3. So the reason why this is sweet is because it has that Saiyan feel. You will be able to, once you get to a certain level, certain damage, you will be able to basically Kaioken or Super Saiyan out and continue to glow and get stronger and stronger and stronger up to 3 levels up, which then your damage and just the your visuals will change. And again, it looks absolutely amazing, and I'm telling you how satisfying it is when you're in game and in combat. I hope you guys can hear it, and in some of these abilities when you're hitting the enemies. But again, this was one of my favorite classes, probably number 2. If I wasn't such a big lightning thunder whore, I would probably run this Soulfist class. And I see a lot of people running this. I'm probably gonna run it because, again, Goku. That's all you need to hear. But enjoy the rest of the gameplay, and then we're gonna go ahead and go in for the final. All right, y'all. So that is all of the classes that are presently that was in the closed beta and what is coming out. So if you guys love the content and want more Lost Ark information, just go ahead and drop a like and subscribe. Again, I appreciate you stopping by, and all my fellow sages. Remember, always follow your ninja way. The best traps on YouTube and Twitch. Trust me, we carrying for the next whole 2022. And I will see you guys on the next video, my fellow sages hidden in the mountains. Peace. See y'all later, man.